Hello, my name is Darren Mock, and I will be talking about the Gaia hypothesis and the reciprocal events of both Gaia and the environment. This hypothesis was developed by James Lovelock and Lynn Margulis, but was quickly criticized by the scientific community at large. The hypothesis was based on the homeostasis of organisms and concluded that the Earth must be doing something similar, a regulation of its own environment. Although some parts of the community supported this hypothesis, many did not for two reasons. Since the Earth is not classified as a living organism, it must not be able to regulate itself as humans and other organisms would. Number 2, this would require communication between organisms of the planet to then perform the necessary actions of regulation. Despite these disagreements, Lovelock continued to find evidence in favor of the hypothesis, and thus invented Daisy World. Daisy World is a computer simulation that creates a planet with similar conditions of Earth, which was unaffected by any other factors except the sun. Black and white daisies solely inhabit the artificial Earth and are affected by the sun based on their respective colors, as white reflects the sun and black absorbs the sun. The temperature of this digital world is originally cold, thus the black daisies dominate the space due to the absorption of light due to its coloring. The program then allows the sun to progressively get warmer, allowing the white daisies to flourish due to the albedo effect. This unconscious cooperation of the planet's or living organisms presented in the Daisy World allowed for the Gaia hypothesis to be greatly supported with such evidence. Gaia theory is still being further supported in the current scientific society due to things such as carbon pumps and coccolithophores maintaining the rhythm of the Daisy World project. Carbon pumps are intermediates such as marine phytoplankton in trees that trap carbon dioxide into the earth and release oxygen as a byproduct. The production of oxygen from such intermediates is a photosynthetic process of energy production from sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. The removal of carbon dioxide, which absorbs heat from infrared radiation within the atmosphere and ocean, allow the Earth to decrease its temperature and the oceans to have a reduced acidity level, promoting the growth of certain organisms. Similarly, coccolithophores have also aided in the temperature regulation of Earth. With the albedo effect, the coccolithophores bloom in large numbers reflecting the sun's rays and release chemicals called dimethyl sulfide or DMS when the temperatures are too high to cool its surroundings. DMS is released as a particle and surrounds itself with water vapor, or to become ore to enlarge clouds. The albedo effect coincides with the cloud formation, further contributing to the cooling of the Earth. Anthropocene is an event where human civilization affects the global climate and environment in an imposing manner to nature. Fossil fuels, which are compressed corpses of organic material, are composed of carbon and other such harmful chemicals which are leaving devastating effects on the environment and climate due to human cultivation. These chemicals are released through the burning of the fuel, a relied upon aspect of human life, which releases a large amount of compressed carbon back into the atmosphere. This results in the Earth containing more carbon dioxide than is naturally produced, stinting the natural filtration process seen in the Gaia theory. This growing overpollution of carbon dioxide increases the temperature of the atmosphere and the acidity of the oceans, a process naturally regulated and creating an imbalance of atmospheric gases, which also leads to an imbalance of ecosystems. The disturbance in ocean acidity and atmospheric heat has inhibited shell production, growth, and has caused reproductive disorders in many oceanic life. The outcome of this leading to an increased number of marine life to die and the diversity of sea life to dwindle. The methane contained in clathrates are gradually being released in small but concentrated bursts due to the burping caused by the increased ocean acidification. The clathrates contain about 3,000 times more methane than that of the atmosphere. Thus, the burping details for an unprecedented increase in greenhouse gases. If this is to occur as often or to gradually increase, global warming would cultivate it at a much faster rate, providing temperatures deadly to many organisms. Deforestation of trees, pollution, and the burping of clathrates are diminishing helpful and natural processes of maintaining and regulating the earth and its organisms. This is causing the Gaia theory to not only die out, but to be further supported in broader terms. The destruction of biodiversity will further implicate the future of many organisms and humans, as the codependency of regulation is not being carried on by humanity. All things considered, the destruction of such natural processes of regulation may allow for the permanent extinction to reoccur in a similar fashion. Although originally caused by the continental movement, the similar circumstances of drastic change in climate could lead to similar mass extinction of the organisms on the planet. The lack of sunlight in this instance was a huge contributing factor, but with the current destruction of natural process, the Earth has a high chance of reaching similar unbearable temperatures for many organisms. Killing off many organisms that help regulate the Earth's temperature before it could make a difference. In cases like this, Gaia is prevalent in its statement of maintenance through codependence. Without the organisms on Earth reacting with each other in a symbiotic nature, there would be no regulation. As a result of these contributing and neglecting factors of the Gaia hypothesis, it is clear that the hypothesis is true, but will soon become irrelevant due to the actions that have been taken by human society. We take the resources of the Earth and abuse them, causing unprecedented effects such as significant ocean acidification, all while deforestation takes place, wiping out lifetimes worth of valuable raw material. Thus, as we continue on as we have, the world as we know may change or end due to the lack of self-regulation of the Earth.